Alrighty, once more into the breach we go. This 64 player event is about to start, and hoping to kick off the draft with a nice little piece of power. That would be awesome. Let's see what we got. I'd like to top 8 one of these and then win it, and then win the next draft. So, we got a long road ahead of us, but it starts here, huh? All right, well, I guess I'll first pick Caracas again. I mean, that's what I first picked yesterday. Yeah, Caracas is good. It's an above average first pick, as I maintain. At least there's no troll in this pack. Though I actually am battling my buddy Isaac Lee from Australia. Good dude. And, Striders in the pack are in the draft as well. So I'm going to take Caracas, pick one, pack one. I don't think it's very close, honestly. Like, the next best card is probably Ponder, Tundra, Adeline, something like that. None of those are really in the same ballpark as Caracas. So we'll start here. This doesn't push you really into any specific direction, but it does get better the more legends you have in your deck, just because it adds kind of not only to the utility of just protecting your things, but also if you have, like, there's a Venter in the cube, things with ETB abilities, though that can be really sick too. And, of course, slight bonus towards playing white. If you're playing white, this land gets better. But one of the beauties of first picking Caracas is it's never really bad. Oh, hello, dog. Stupid dog still has the cone on her head, since that's what she gets. But obviously it's better in some decks than others. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this is just another classic battle of, do you take Fetch Land, which is one of the top 2 cards in the pack for sure, or do you take Emrakul? I don't think there's any justification for a card other than Windswept Teeth or Emrakul. There's just, like, the next best card, if those two aren't there, is like Malcolm, maybe Corpse Dance if you're already into Reanimator, maybe Baleful Strix, I don't know. Usher is good, but you don't really want to take it super early. I think I should take Windswept Teeth. It does work better with Caracas than Emrakul does. I mean, it's narrow, but also I think this early in the draft, it's still probably better just to take Windswept Teeth. Oh, wow. Third pick, Library. Okay. There's also an LED. I do love my combo stuff, but Library seems like the pick here over Force of Negation, LED, and Reanimate. Reanimate's also pretty sick. Wow. I feel like Library is better, and I just don't win with the Reanimation decks. That's not to say that Reanimate isn't a fantastic card. I would put Reanimate into any deck, even splash for it, and it's really good. This is one of the best Animates. Animate Dead, I think, is actually a little better, but I still think I should just take Library here. Just take also another kind of effective colorless card, which is great. My main problem with taking Reanimate is Library is colorless, Reanimate is not. But even though Reanimate's splashable, it's just also, I don't want to be in a heavy Animate deck, and that's where Reanimate's best. So, like, if you look at the power level of Reanimate, like why this card is good, some percentage of that, of course, a pretty large percentage, is you put it in a deck with Entomb and Vampiric Tutor and Bitter Triumph and all that. I just haven't found that style of deck to be very good in this iteration of the cube, so I'm not in a huge hurry to jump into it. Okay, now this is an interesting pick as well. There's Natural Order, there's Titania, there's Time Spiral, there's Fire Covenant. Oh, this is a hard pick. I really like Titania with Windswept Teeth Caracas. Fire Covenant is a truly excellent card. We're not that close to casting it, but we could certainly make our mana base capable of doing so. Time Spiral is good, but I don't think this is a start where I would take Time Spiral over one of these cards. I don't even know which green card is better. Natural Order is really high payoff, but Titania is really good with Windswept Teeth and Caracas. And then, should I just take Fire Covenant and hope one of the 2 green cards wheels? This pack doesn't seem strong enough for that to be the case. This is close. I think I'm going to take Titania. Close though. You know what? I'm going to take Fire Covenant. That's what I'm going to do. I don't know. That's a really, really, really close one. There's a Crucible here, but I don't care too much about that. There's Retrofitter Foundry, Solitude, Tide Hollow, Sculler, Shield's Edict, Narset, Hedge Maze. All these cards are pretty plausible. I might just take Solitude. It's the best card in the pack, and it looks like it could go well with what we have here. Yeah, I'm not sure on that Fire Covenant versus Titania. Oh. Okay, there's Luris, and there's Pest Infestation. There's also Savannah, but I don't really think I want that. I think I'm going to take Luris, and people, say what you will. One Solitude is not a huge price, and getting a 6-pick Luris with one of the best cards you can have with Lurrus. Caracas is awesome, plus Fire Covenant's incredible in Lurrus decks. All right. I'm going to take Lurrus, and we'll see where this goes. I could put it in my deck and not companion it, but that's not very likely. It's just hard to overstate how powerful it is having access to an 8th card in your hand every game, and a really powerful one at that. So I'm going to take that. So it was Solitude versus Retrofitter versus... I think those are the 2 cards I was mostly considering. Yeah, obviously it would have worked out better to take the Retrofitter, but this still... I like this start. And then here... Venser Caracas. I ended up cutting Venser for my cube. I just feel like it didn't quite get there. There's Croxa, which is actually pretty nice with Caracas as well. There's Cut Down. There's Tribal Flames. There's Shifting Woodland. I guess Escape to the Wilds. Also Delayed Blast Fireball, but I'm not a big Delayed Blast Fireball fan. I think I might just take Cut Down. Cut Down's a really efficient removal spell, and I'm probably going to want to end up playing black, so I kind of like having access to that. Fire Covenant, I'm glad I took Fire Covenant. Fire Covenant's very good. And also, even disregarding the Lurrus, we haven't seen that many green cards since taking Fire Covenant, where I could have taken Titania or Natural Order. So I don't really regret that. Here it's Overgrown Tomb versus Abrade, and I kind of leaning towards just taking Overgrown Tomb. I've got a Windswept Teeth, so this makes this into a black source. I don't want Dam. I don't think Dam is as good as just taking a piece of mana fixing. And Fire Covenant is such a good card that I want to make a mana base that can play it. I know Overgrown Tomb doesn't look like it directly helps it, but it actually does because of makes Windswept Teeth into black. So now it's Fatal Push versus Pillage the Bog. I don't think I'm in the market for Manifold Key or Fiery Islet. I do like Fatal Push a pretty good amount. Pillage can be nice, but we're not going to really be playing a combo deck. I think I just take Fatal Push here. And here we've got Revoker versus Seachrome Coast. I like Revoker. I think Revoker being meaningful disruption against like mana accelerants like Grim Monolith or Birds of Paradise, while also, you know, shutting down things like Planeswalkers or Sneak Attack, which is a little dicier because it's better to revoke like a Birds because then if they kill it later, it doesn't matter. When you're revoking like an Oko, you're just really hoping that, you know, this thing holds. And then, oh, I do like Sunfall in these decks. All right, I will take that. So there's a late lore in there, and we obviously got the like what 4th pick Solitude, something like that. No, 5th pick Solitude, but I haven't seen like tons of white cards other than that. So yeah, I mean, what are we downstream of? It feels like black is open. There was that late Reanimate. You know, there was obviously the Lurrus, the pretty late Fatal Push, Fire Covenant. Red may or may not be open. Blue and white, or blue and green seem somewhat cut, and white I'm not sure, but we'll see. I mean, Cube has high variance packs as well, so it's kind of hard to tell. Because, like, let's say you even with color balance, which they do use, so there's like a rough color balance when you open the packs. Even with that though, if the like 2 blue cards you open are good, they'll be gone, whereas like the 2 red cards are bad that you open are bad, those might stay, and it could mean that the person passing to use red, but there's just not good red cards being passed. Oh, I don't mind a Lion Sash here. I don't think I want Flame of Anor. And Mindstone, it's not actually real to get Mindstone back Lurrus. Oh, late Tide Hollow Sculler, that's a gift. I did not know that was going to wheel. All right, I'm excited about this. This is I think a very strong start. And I'm not playing either of these cards. I guess I'll take the Bolsa Citadel. I think it's more likely that that's like integral card for someone's deck than the Kumano faces Kakazan, but who knows. Going into this pack, I mean, Accelerants obviously are very good. Mishra's Bauble would be nice. Oh, Bazaar of Baghdad. I'm not going to end up playing it, but I love trying to get Bazaar into decks is very fun. I like it being in the cube because of that, even though, honestly, you really shouldn't put Bazaar in your deck very often. I would say 2/3 of the people I play against who play Bazaar, I don't think they should have Bazaar in their deck. Though, the 1/3 is really cool, where you have, like, Urborg and Reanimate spells and just ways to, like, basically make Bazaar into a really advantageous card. All right, pack 2 time. Any Lotuses? Any Lotuses? No, we opened a Containment Priest. I mean, I'm not honestly as disappointed as you might think. Containment Priest, I think, is just a busted card. It just stops so many unfair cards, and that's what these decks often have trouble with. So I'm less unhappy than you might expect taking Containment Priest. Obviously, I don't want to first pick it. I could get it 5th. Maybe this Lingering Souls wheels. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's possible. Or Intrepid Adversary if that fails. All right. Containment Priest it is. It's just, it would be really nice to just slam like a Lotus and just have like a sick Lurrus deck, because certainly I wouldn't mind cashing in a little luck here. I will take an Animate Dead though. I love, like, this makes me also not feel so bad about passing Reanimate, because now you not only have a way to get back Lurrus can cast Animate Dead out of the graveyard. So you cast Animate on something earlier, trades off, then later you go Lurrus, replay Animate on something. So good. As well as, of course, animating Lurrus itself. And then love to get Underground Mortuary back, or Cathar Commando, or even him. Any of those cards would be great. But yeah, definitely taking Animate Dead here. Following it up with probably Luminarch, hoping to wheel Jackrabbit. There's also a Badlands. I could take Badlands and then hope to just get back whichever one of those. But honestly, I really think Luminarch is great. I do think Jackrabbit is great too. I don't have any of the Jackrabbit combos yet. It's like Guide of Souls is a big one. Gaia's Cradle is another one. But Luminarch actually is one of those. I'm going to take the Luminarch. I think the Jackrabbit has a potential of wheeling. Luminarch basically doesn't. I just think the secret's not quite out yet on the Rabbit. And as I think Badlands would be nice. I would really like to play the Fire Covenant, but I want to make sure I have a good aggressive white-black deck. The Lurrus decks, I feel like, do really well when they can put early pressure on the opponent. Wheeling the Sculler was just perfect for that, but Luminarch helps too. Ocelot Pride is super high on my list of cards to find right now. Like Guide of Souls. The Usher is already gone, unfortunately, but I actually would have liked that card. All right, this pack. Oh, Emperor of Bones, easy. I actually would try and play Figure if I could, though obviously depending on what my mana ends up, if it's too many black sources, that would be tricky. But Emperor is awesome. It's also a way to get back Lurrus, and there's a combo. Emperor of Bones back a Lurrus, and then I use Caracas to bounce the Lurrus before end of turn, so it doesn't get exiled. Yeah, that sounds sick to me. Ooh, and here we get to pick up a Snuff Out. I love Snuff Out. Vindicate would be sweet if it wheeled. Same with Unexpectedly Absent. But Snuff Out is perfect. Ketria Triumph also not really super on for me. It, I guess, makes Windswept Teeth into red for Fire Covenant, but that seems kind of unnecessary. Ooh, and here, I actually think I take Savine's Reclamation. This is a way to get Lurrus back or any of the other creatures. And it's pretty good to just kind of have one of those in your deck. I mean, I have an Animate Dead also, but just having a Savine's Reclamation means at some point you'll be able to, even if you get milled or you're like drawing and discarding, like it's going to provide you value in some way, shape, or form. I don't have any blue cards yet, so Hallowed Fountain's not something. I don't mind Collective Brutality, but that's not a card I'm usually like in that big of a hurry to get in my Lurrus deck. I've got some good early removal. It is kind of a nice like split card where it's a good removal spell against small creatures and kind of a duress, but I'm holding out for actual duress, hopefully. Oh, this is an interesting pick. Wasteland or Ancient Tomb? Ancient Tomb can actually be really good in this kind of deck. My mana, yeah, it doesn't look like most of my things use that. I think I will take the Wasteland then. Also, taking Wasteland makes it harder for people to kill my Caracas or Library, which is kind of nice because I have two really powerful lands. Those are two of the lands that people really do want to Wasteland. And then here, oh, Scrubland, easy. I don't mind another Goyf, though I've been kind of unimpressed with it in these decks. I feel like you don't have enough variation in types, but obviously Scrubland is just such a good pickup. Okay, if this Jackrabbit and a couple picks wheels, I'll be really happy. But even without that, I've got a really good black-white Lurrus deck. Like, this is pretty focused here. I've got a Fire Covenant I would still like to get a source for, but for the most part, things are looking great. All right, so this pack has a Razor Verge Thicket if I wanted to splash green, but Pest Infestation is gone. That's one of the most splashable green cards. I kind of want to just take Harvester. Harvester is quite good against me, and this is a pod draft. I don't really want to mess with that. Oh, on the other hand, though, getting a Surveil land is pretty nice. I think that's better than Colonnade, and I wouldn't splash the Pride Mage without wanting to take more lands anyway, so let's just take Underground Mortuary. And I think this next pack is the one that had the Jackrabbit, which I don't think I'm necessarily going to wheel or anything like that. I just hope to. That would be nice. And then here, I guess I could take Jetmir's Garden. I don't really want to play Sunbaked Canyon, and I'm not playing the other two, and I don't really care too much about playing against them. So take Jetmir's Canyon or Garden just because maybe I'll want to splash a red. Oh, I mean, duh. I'll take Jetmir's Garden because it helps me splash my Fire Covenant. There we go. I figured it out. Yeah, so this is solid. I mean, given that I'm basically 2 colors with 1 splash card, I think this mana base is not bad. I've got Scrubland plus Windswept Heath is just 2 black-white lands right off the top, and that's enough in a 2-color deck to not be terrible. Nah, but unfortunately I'm not wheeling it. And here, I'm not really going to play any of these cards. I guess I'd Triplicate Titan's the card I think worth hating the most. Oh, I will take an Unexpectedly Absent, though. I think that's better than Ghostfire Blade, given the way my mana base is going to look. Yeah, all right. This looks great. I've got a bunch of removal. The thing I am most missing is hand disruption. I have Tidehollow Sculler. Would I play White of the Reliquary? Honestly, I might. If I've got Overgrown Tomb, Jetmir's Garden, Mortuary, Windswept Heath, so I have 4 green sources. So there is a chance I play it, especially if I get like tokens. Lingering Souls didn't wheel. That's unfortunate. But I got a really like Tidehollow Sculler, so who knows? All right, what do we got? No, nothing busted again, unfortunately. I love Mystic Confluence in these decks, but I'm not going to be splashing that. Honestly, this might be a Thalia deck. Concealing Curtains is good too. I don't think I'm going to start by maining the white, but you never know. I'll keep it in mind. I think I'm just going to take the Thalia. It's a really disappointing first pick, honestly, but Thalia does let me just pressure the opponent, so I think I'm pretty good against creature decks with all the removal I have, so Thalia is going to maybe be good against the decks that I might struggle with otherwise. But my first picks being Containment Priest and Thalia are just like good cards for the deck, but really disappointing to have to first pick. Well, second pick isn't much better. There's a flash. There's a Scalding Tarn, which gets right now is Jetmir's Garden, and I'm not playing blue or red, so it could just be a fetch land that doesn't work. Or I take, I guess, like a Jite. Horrendous. Okay, I guess I'll take a Jite. I don't know. I don't really want to take a bunch of duels to try to make Scalding Tarn good, because it's the kind of fetch that can't get any of the basics I care about. I'm like a Mardu, so I guess maybe like I'd have 1 mountain, but I think I'd rather just take the Jite. Jite is at least a card in some matchups. All right, at least now there's a pack with the cards I want, but of course now it has 3 cards I really want, or actually 4, because Savai Triumph or Godless Shrine would be amazing, as well as Reprieve and Mother of Runes. I got to take Mother of Runes. Mother of Runes is awesome, and this deck really would like some 1-drops, so Mother of Runes it is after taking a couple of packs of blank cards. Caustic Bronco's good too. I'll take that over Council's Judgment, Sorin, and Portable Hole. I think Caustic Bronco is the kind of card this deck would be quite happy to get. And then here there's a Samwise, which is pretty good with Wasteland. Oh, Caracas, fetch lands, and just like saving my stuff versus Plateau versus Inti. I don't think I have the red sources for Inti. Plateau would be nice. It would make Fire Covenant castable off Windswept Heath, which can get Jetmir's Gardens, and it's just a red-white source itself. But Samwise looks pretty good here. I kind of feel like this is a Samwise pickup, because I also, right now, I'm playing 21 lands with this current, well, really 22, because I don't really want to play the Jites or the Sunfall, so like I could use a couple more playables here. I don't feel like I'm going to be super long on them. Now there's a Deluge and a Winds of Abandon. In this kind of deck, I think Winds of Abandon ends up being better. I do like a Glimmer Lens as well. I don't have enough ones for it to be awesome. I don't have like a Stoneforge or anything. All right, I'll take Winds of Abandon. I think that there's some matchups where Winds is just incredible. I'm going to take the Sunfall out, and I'm going to take the Jite out for now. All the creatures look fine, though. All right. I do like a Dothy Voidwalker, and I think it's really strong with Luris, too. You get to replay it. You have, like, Animate Dead and Savine's Reclamation, so Voidwalker over Blackcleave Cliffs, especially since my first couple picks in this pack were kind of disappointing. I don't feel like I'm high enough on power level to pass up a card as strong as Dothy Voidwalker for a land. All right, and here's Dark Confidant. I guess that'll round out my deck here. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't take the Scalding Tarn. Let's see what we wheel. So not counting the Lurrus, right now this is 20 land, which means if I get like 2 playables, I'll be fine. And I've got a card or 2 in my sideboard. Like if I had to play a Sunfall or a Jite or something, I would be fine with that. Oh, nice. Conceal and Curtain Wield. I like that more than Souls Lost here. Curtains is a nice pickup, so that's good. That's good. This pack doesn't have any cards I want. I'm not going to play the Boots really under any circumstance here. I guess there's not a 0% chance I would play Unholy Heat, though I'm probably not going to. I could have also taken the Teferi as like kind of a hate card, though. Hating Unholy Heat's also fine. That card's pretty annoying. Oh, Godless Shrine Wield? Okay. That is good news. That helps quite a bit. Do I main this Fire Covenant? I'm kind of leaning towards no. I could just cut the Jetmir's Garden. At this point, probably cut the Overgrown Tomb. Because I'll keep the Mortuary, that's fine. The Overgrown Tomb would have been good as a way to get black mana with this, but I have 2 Godless Shrine / Scrubland cards, so I don't think I need to do that. Now there's Sorin versus Portable Hole. Sorin is a powerful card. I don't have any life gain. There's also Temple Garden, but I don't need that. I think I'm just going to take Portable Hole. I think that card's pretty good. And I'll hate the Gadgeteer because I'm not going to board an Elite Spellbinder. Okay, this is 18 land. This is like... Oh, I need to cut a card here. I guess I'll cut the Fire Covenant and put in... Probably just put in Jite at that point. All right, yeah, let's put in Umezawa's Jite. And just go up to 18 lands, yeah. Just straight black-white, no need for other colors. Yeah, that seems good. And I have 3 black-white lands, so that's not too bad. Let's go ahead and if I go 6/5, I'll have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 white, and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 black. There's no chance I want to go to 19 land because of Wasteland and Library, right? No, I don't think so. You don't want 1 more white or 1 more black? I actually kind of want 1 more black. I think because of the double black on Voidwalker and Caustic Bronco and Dark Confidant can help find me lands. All right, let's do it. All right, time for round 1. I would like to reveal a Lurrus. I have to... The reason some of these rounds I start with not a ton of time on my clock is the timing of these is such that I do the draft and I just go quickly to drop off our son at daycare and get back as the round's starting. So it's a bit of a hustle, but you know what? You got to do what you got to do, which includes, unfortunately, mulliganing, which not even really because of Wasteland. It's just a 1-lander anyway. So yeah. Easy keep, ship back unexpectedly absent, hope to find a white source. Seems fine. And it looks like Isaac is mulliganing as well here. Let's see how this goes. All right, we'll keep this and put back absent. I am on the draw here. Thought I was on the play for some reason. On the draw's worse. Though, I guess the more players mulligan, the better it becomes to be on the draw. Like, if both players mulled to 5, I would choose to be on the draw. At 6, I think I'd still rather be on the play. But at 5, at least, I would be on the draw, which means it does get closer once they go to 6. All right. Sure. That's fine. Well, I guess this game's over. That's cool. Plains is good. That's something. I was even for a second hoping, well, if I draw fetch, I could still Fatal Push the Tireless Tracker, but no, that's not going to happen. I mean, my deck is a fine deck. It's got no power. It's got, like, Snuff Out. It's got Tide Hollow Skull. It's got a couple ways to, like, disrupt, especially on the draw, but this isn't going to be close. All right. I feel like my luck in these has not been great. Like, the combination of... I don't even know, what am I supposed to do here? I think I just play Dark Confidant and hope to get really lucky. The combination of playing against a lot of turn 1 Lotuses, and I feel like I haven't had a lot of power myself, has made it feel like I've just been taking a few beats here, but maybe that's just my own perception. Who knows? I do know that my perception of how much I've been winning in the 64s is true, but I feel like I've been happy with how the decisions I have made during the drafts. Like, I don't know, I've had a couple of these matches. Like, this would be the second match where my opponent just kills me on turn one. I mean, we'll see about the rest of the games, but that is when that happens, and I liked my deck when I lost to Troll, and I certainly liked my deck where I lost in the finals with that cool Channel 4 Theolingus deck, but yeah, here we go. Nissa, I mean, I am just dead here, so I don't even know if I'm going to end up wanting to... All right. Let's see. Another spell here. All right. That'll do it. I mean, I guess I could put in a Sunfall, sure. Umezawa's GT is usually good against green decks. I guess I'm inclined to keep it. Lion Sash, I think I can probably cut, but all right. Do I want... Maybe I want Fire Covenant. I'd have to play it. No, I just don't think playing Fire Covenant off like a couple red sources really makes sense. All right. I would like to play first. Reveal Luris. And... yeah, I mean, I'm clearly going to keep this hand. Just got turn 1 Curtains into turn 2 Sculler. And then, who knows on turn 3. Maybe flipping Curtains would be nice. If I draw a black source, I could also consider playing a turn 1... or turn 2 Voidwalker. Oh, Snuff Out is nice. All right, let's go Tide Hollow Sculler, and then that'll help me decide if I want to snuff out the elf. I'm glad I have Containment Priest. I am going to snuff out the elf. He doesn't have any other creatures, and yeah, I think I take Oko here and snuff out the elf and pass. Containment Priest is pretty good. Let's see. Ponder. And did he choose to shuffle? Shuffle. Okay, so he doesn't know his top card. Oh, Caracas is not bad. So he's got Flash, Sneak, and Odawara plus an unknown. What are my potential plays here? I mean, I guess I just have to Concealing Curtains here. It doesn't really make sense not to. He doesn't know the cards in hand. This helps me attack. Oh, then I just take Preordain and basically have to fade one turn of him flashing something in because he can't even sneak something in here. It doesn't have the red. So Containment Priest will be up next. Ancient Tomb, okay. Into Mox Jet. Okay. But that's it. Those are we know all the rest of the cards now. Can Odawara the Tide Hollow Sculptor to then recast Oko? All right. I think I still play Caustic Bronco here. I think that's going to end up being better. Okay, yep. Sculler gets put in. Because I have Unexpectedly Absent. I would like to get this Containment Priest down, but I still think it's better to play Bronco there than to not. And then this looks like an Oko to me. Odawara's gone. So it's Flash, Sneak, Oko, and one unknown, which again, it has to just be exactly like a Torsten or World Spine for Flash to get me. Okay, hopefully it doesn't draw Ancestress. Ponder, Preordain, and Ancestral. Geez, that's a lot of card selection. A lot of ways to find Lotus, huh? Though I now understand why I don't have any power. My opponent has all of it, so let's hope we can fade. I mean, this game does look good. Like, I had a pretty good draw here. Curtains into Sculler plus Snuff Out is a really nice start. And taking some of the, like, cantrips against this kind of deck can be good. But there's a lot of options here. Because Oko can make like Mox Jet or Elvish Mystic into a creature. You could make Caustic Bronco into just a 3/3, though that's obviously, I think, probably not going to be a very good play. My guess is some combination of Okoing one of your own things immediately into a creature is better than making a food, but we'll see where Isaac lands. All right. This looks like Oko taking 2 in order to make Mox Jet into a creature. Okay. Yeah, that's fine with me. Let me just draw. Land would be really nice here. Oh, Luminarch, huh? I think what I'm going to do is end up wanting to absent the Mox Jet to the top. Because, oh, that's so sick, too, because then he also draws Mox Jet, which sounds incredibly good. And then attack. I think I just attack Isaac. Do I attack Oko? Yeah, actually, I guess attacking Oko is actually good. Because then he has to chump. And if I hit a land off that would have been sick. But I think this is still pretty good. Oko goes to 2. Because I feel like my hand can beat all the cards in his hand pretty well. So I'm fine with this. And then you can play Mox Jet and make it into a 3/3, but then the Revealing Eye can kill the Oko. My concern with just attacking my opponent is that, like, Oko is just... It just always ends up being so annoying trying to... Like, it's annoying to try to kill it because its loyalty goes up a lot, but it's also, like, if you don't kill it, making a bunch of 3/3s and maybe cracking food seems like a pretty good way to get around. I mean, if his best play last turn was Oko, I can't imagine the one unknown card in hand being... It can't be a flash card, is all we know. I mean, it would have to be something weaker than casting Oko, which there's not that many cards you want to flash in that are weaker than casting Oko. All right, what do we got here? Kind of curious what that last card could be that wasn't cast last turn. Oh, Nissa. Okay, leaving Flash and Sneak in hand and then making a food token. Yeah, that does stop me from killing Oko. Well, kind of. I have Karakas in hand, and I have Luminarch Aspirant. Let's go Luminarch. How much do I want to protect? It's always... I just keep not... How about this? I'm going to go Luminarch and go to combat, make Revealing Eye a 4/5, attack Oko. It's got Menace, so Oko goes down. And then... Do I cast Containment Priest or not is kind of the thing. I think I just cast it because if he draws a card he can flash in and I didn't cast Containment Priest and he passes and I cast it and he flashes in response, that's just such a disaster for me. So I'll let him know I have Containment Priest. It's kind of unfortunate because that's a really strong card, but he can play like a Sneak now, I guess. Well, yeah, I mean, it's just kind of dead to Karakas here, I think. But he goes to 9 after sacking the food and takes 6. Yeah, that's going to be enough. Okay, going to game 3. Yeah, I don't want Lion Sash. I don't think I want Fire Covenant still. GT really doesn't look that good, but I don't really want to put a mountain in my deck, and I don't think playing it off just Jetmir's Gardens really makes too much sense. So let's go. All right. Reveal Luris on the draw, ready to get Lotused out. Yeah, I'm going to keep this hand. If I draw Plains on turn 1, this hand becomes pretty good. Playing a turn 2 Caustic Bronco is not bad, and Revoker seems like it's got some decent outs against my opponent's deck here. The GT of the Absent, not so good, but I don't think this is supposed to be a mulligan, so let's get in there, I guess. All right, turn 1 Elvish Mystic. Yep, that's about what I thought. Let's go Swamp Go. I can play a Voidwalker, a Bronco, or a Revoker on 2. I guess it'll kind of depend on what happens here. If Isaac does not use the Lotus, I'll probably play Revoker and just name Black Lotus, if, assuming it doesn't get sacrificed in response. Okay. Turn 2 Bloodbraid Challenger into Questing Beast. All right, that's cool. So it goes. Another 64 in the books. Well done, well done. Thanks for watching, everyone. I appreciate it. All right, I've decided I'm going to review this draft because I don't really feel like doing another draft here, but I would like to kind of see if there's a different, what the main decision points will be. Let's just go through. So first pick, Caracas. I think that's pretty easy here. There's just not really any other way to go from here. So definitely happy to take that. And then the follow-up of, let's see. All right, this is already a big decision. Emrakul versus Windswept Heath. I would take Windswept Heath again in this scenario, but I'm curious over the next couple picks where I would go if I had taken Emrakul. I, again, don't think there's any decision to be made. There's no other card I think is reasonable to take here. And then this pack, yeah, it's Library versus Reanimate. Given what I have, I would take Library again. I mean, I do think I navigated this draft largely correctly, but I do want to see what I could do differently. So I could have, if I had taken Emrakul, I'd probably have taken Reanimate. No, I might have still taken Library, honestly, with Emrakul. So I could have either had Emrakul over Heath and Reanimate over Library, or two of the different options. And this pack was pretty big. Natural Order versus Titania versus Fire Covenant. Well, had I taken Emrakul or Reanimate or both, I would have surely taken the Fire Covenant. Even over Time Spiral, though Time Spiral gets a little more interesting, I would have taken Covenant. I did end up taking Covenant, and I still think this pick is close. Honestly, I really went back and forth between Titania and Covenant. I think it turned out better for me that I took Covenant. I don't think I was getting out of this draft with a win regardless. My opponent just lotused me twice on turn one, but I still want to see if I could have had a different or better deck. Well, definitely could have had a different deck. This pack, so if I have Covenant, Emrakul, Reanimate, I guess instead of Solitude, I would have taken, here, let me pause this and just go back a second here. So if I had those cards, I mean, maybe I would have taken Blood Tithe Harvester. If I had Fire Covenant, Reanimate, Emrakul, Caracas, yeah, I would have definitely taken Blood Tithe Harvester. That's interesting. I think over Seasoned Pyromancer for sure. Passing up on Narset and Shieldred's Edict, yeah, that is all fine here. And let me see. All right, next pack. Well, I wouldn't have taken Luris. I guess in that spot, though, had I taken the Blood Tithe, there really wasn't much there. I would have taken like a Chromatic Star, maybe. Maybe I would have just taken Luris there. I would have only had an Emrakul to give away, and that would have been a better Luris setup. I would have had Reanimate, Blood Tithe. Those are fantastic with Luris. Okay, and then though I think I would have taken Kroxa. Huh. I actually think if I take Emrakul, I still end up in the Luris spot, which is funny, because I didn't see Sneak, Flash, or Breach. Yeah, I would have taken Kroxa over Cut Down, though those are pretty close. And I guess the rest probably goes somewhat similar, because then I would have taken a Braid. Yeah, I wouldn't have taken Overgrown Tomb. I would have wanted a Braid because I would have had Kroxa and been just more red-black. So it just basically I would have traded Library for Reanimate, and Windswept Heath would have just been gone, and it would have had a Kroxa. All right, well, all roads lead to Luris, I guess. And then the rest of the draft probably doesn't go all that differently. All right, I just wanted to wrap it up with a little review. And again, I think if we take a look at the deck here, this deck seems, I think, totally fine, not as special. This deck's weakness is exactly what we lost to, which is not specifically like Lotus or whatever, but my opponent making fast plays. This deck, it's got Snuff Out, and it's got like Fatal Push, maybe Sculler. It doesn't have a lot of ways to kind of catch up from behind. Catching up from behind, really Snuff Out's the only card that's fantastic at that. Even Cut Down and Fatal Push are both just 1-for-1s. Portable Hole, 1 mana for their play maybe. But look at this. This deck without any Moxes, Mana Crypt, anything like that, not even like a Dark Ritual. It's at its best goes a 1 mana play on turn 1, a 2 mana play on turn 2, and maybe a Snuff Out. Stone average deck. I guess the red-black deck would have probably not played as many of the white cards and had red-black cards, but still probably have been Luris. I don't really think there's a way to not take it. I believe there was people who would have drafted that without taking Luris, but I think the pack where you get Luris there, it just makes the most sense to take it. So you just have to really not like that strategy, which is fine. You can not like it. But I think most of the people I know who cube a ton would have gone down the Luris route, is my guess. All right. Well, in any case, that'll do it. Next week, I'm going to try to win some. This weekend, I'm going to try to win some feeder league tokens so I can play in some of these 64s. No, there's none this week, so never mind. It'll be a couple weeks till you get to play in a 64 because they just don't have them next week. So I guess, well, it's back to cubing. Cubing's always fun, and hopefully we can get a win here and there. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. It helps out the channel, and you won't miss a single draft.